firemen and pumpkin firemen, and they eat clothes.
Yeah. Children should never carve your neighbors unless they are shaped like pumpkins.
So only carve fat people.
Beep beep. Make a costume for your car. Choose something scary and distracting. Fun for all drivers. Reminder, children should know that night infections remain as dangerous and illegal as ever. A disease-o-lantern is not something to celebrate.
What?
That's what it says right over here.
No, those disease-o-lanterns. Ugh.
I know,
bad.
right? They're scary. It's a problem.
Oh, my head. Ouch!
Alright, we're gonna do a Bob Ross script.
Made by an actual AI, apparently.
Yes. Bob Ross stands in front of a blank canvas that doesn't know how lucky it is. Bob smiles. His teeth aren't hiding today. Bob Ross. Today we will paint a mountain that owes us nothing. Bob picks up his painting weapons.
What does that mean?
Bob Ross continued. I will be using 3 colors. Baby blue, hot pink, and hot baby. Bob mixes the colors together. They will never be alone again. It doesn't matter what they want. Painting was invented by a tiny bird that wanted to be rich. Okay, let's meet Mr. Mountain. Bob paints a mountain. The one from nature.
It sounds so ominous. Oh.
It's not all about you, Mountain. Bob paints a cloud. I went to school with that cloud. Bob paints a forest. These trees are up to something. But I won't tell the police. Now, what more does this painting need? Bob stares at the camera. Paint leaks out of him. This is like a horror script. Jesus.
I don't believe this.
Bob stares into the camera. Paint leaks out of him. That's right. It needs you.
This is a creepypasta.
Right? It needs you. Bob paints you on top of the mountain. You are at peace. If you need help, ask the cloud. The cloud won't help you. Jesus!
What the hell? I need to see. I have a trouble believing that.
Alright, guy. His name is Keaton Patty. Keat on Twitter. And Jesus Christ, that sounds like a friggin'...
It is a Bob Ross creepypasta.
Exactly. It's not all about you, Mountain.
Ask the cloud for help. The cloud won't help you. What about Ron Magic?
Yeah, what about Ron Magic?
Help!
Alright, this post
Bones!
is going here. And this post is definitely going...
Popped my jaw.
Actually, I'm going to put that here instead. That's probably going to go on my Tumblr when I have time to post it.
It's good stuff.
That was really good. That was
Creepy
surreal.
Bob Ross. Again, I almost feel like I ought to. I need to somehow check. Well, he didn't use up the bot though, did he? So there's no way of testing. So I will have to believe. Oh, that's long. Whatever it is. Nuke some witches. Babyface Maleficent, yo. The dark arts better watch out, oh boy. He fell down the staircase for the rest of the summer.
Alright, I don't know where chapter 1 is though, so...
Of what?
I don't know, it just says chapter 2. So I don't want to start in the middle of something.
Hey, you start at chapter 9 on Harry Potter.
It's chapter 13.
Oh. Even worse.
Alright, here's this one. I've set out to write a serialized young adult dystopian novel in which every chapter includes words from the corresponding chapter of The Hunger Games, Maze Runner, or Divergent. This means I have 2 keyboards in every chapter, the narrative and the dialogue. The narrative... Let's see here. Here are the first 5 chapters. As I write more, this is also called the Hung Runner Chronicles, is how they've...
The Hung Runner?
Yeah. So this is the Hung Runner Chronicles.
Wait.
Oh, hey, hi, Starfell. Speaking of costumes, take a look at this. Oh, it's a Gundam costume?
Probably. That's the Mark II, isn't it? I don't quite get the pose, but I think that's the Mark II. It can be hard to tell with those Gundams.
Are you saying all Gundams look alike?
I'm saying all Gundams look very similar, especially the light ones. Oh.
Alright, so this is based on a mixture of dystopian future teen novels released from the late 2000s into the early 2010s, called the Hung Runner Chronicles. The reaping is glorious, or at least that's what they say. To us, the citizens of the city, it is something very bad. Every year, mean animals are directed into the city to hunt us and sometimes even eat our kids. It sucked the first few years, and now it really does. Who am I? I'm just a little girl from the mines who sells bowls. Nothing special. One thing is for sure. I am not the one. Everyone is always talking about how someday the one will show up and end a reaping once and for all. But I don't think I can do that, so I'm not the one. The bad people live in the woods. They murmur twisted words at us from the trees and make things way worse.
They just make things bad.
Yeah. In the history classroom, we are taught that things have always been this way, but I tend to think that's not true. If the bad people had always been in the trees, then why are they people? Even though I think scary thoughts like these, I still smile to protect my family. The wake-up sound blares through my open window, so I get out of bed and walk to the kitchen. Good morning, little duck, I say to my father, who is not really that animal, but I call him it. Happy morning, my good, beautiful Katniss, is his reply. He calls me that because it's my name. I mean, that's not an incorrect statement. It's crazy how many people actually dress up as humanoid machines. The Gundam is actually 0080, the RX-78NT.
I'm not familiar with that one, actually.
He calls me that because it is my name. I plant a quick kiss on his arm and then run away from our house.
It's scary.
In the public market, I spot my friend Gale, who is 18 and has a lot of herbs. He says, "Welcome to where I have my things, Katniss. Do you want one?" And what I say back is, "I want you and nothing but you, little beef man."
What?
I want you and nothing but you, little beef man. We look at each other and then look at each other more. I think about how I am not anybody special and all, or I think of how I am not anybody special at all and make a big wide smile. Okay, so before I go any farther, just so I can be fair, because this person put a lot of work into this.
Oh, you're identifying that.
They are Brian Leonard, and they have an album on the Botnik community called The Hunger Runner Chronicles, which is what I am reading. I'll link it here. And then I will try to remember to link it in the YouTube videos that correspond to it. Onward! Onward we go. Suddenly, as I glance over at the woods, I notice that a dog emerges from them with a mean face. I make a really loud groan. The reaping has begun.
Just a mean dog.
Time stops for a moment as I stare at that awful dog. Is the day of the reaping truly upon us? Everyone knows that the bad people, now capitalized, the bad people make the reaping happen once a year to remind us of how starving we are. But it has never happened this early before. Memory of last year's reaping fills my head like a dream. I shudder when I think of what I saw. I saw so many bands of animal creeping through the city that day, making our lives full of sadness. I saw 3 dogs shove my sister Susan into a bakery. For me, the worst part was when the building was vibrating and I saw it collapse. There is no way that she could survive that, and there, for sure, is no way that she lives in the woods with the bad people now.
What?
It's a fact. Well, we never really found the body, but I still feel like she's probably dead. Even my mother also died. Sigh. I think quietly to myself, she was always so pretty in the mirror when I bathed her.
What?
It was really sad when she jumped in a well because a lying newt told her it was a good idea. Why are you listening to a newt?
They're mean animals, alright. This is amazing.
Yes, it is exactly a way to describe someone as a person.
Yeah,
let's see
the
here.
person with the herbs.
Yeah,
Y'all watch out for those newts, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't listen to them.
Friggin' jerks.
Don't jump into a well, even if a newt tells you to.
She was always the best, and I wish I could smell her right now and be smiling again.
What makes it funny is that it's not complete randomness.
Yeah, the fact that it's slightly organized randomness is what makes it better.
Basically, the way the program works is...
It tries to assume what will come next based on the history of what has been typed.
Basically, you put the Hunger Games and several other novels into a computer, and it creates a keyboard that's always trying to guess the next word. And these are what it came up with. I mean, it had some guidance from...
Yeah, a person has to pick the words, so it'll stay coherent.
They pick it from, like, 9 recommended words on what it thinks they're trying to say.
And I think you can scroll another 9 or something as well. My neighbor and the boy I love Gale saying... That's a hard sentence to process what it's saying here. My neighbor and the boy I love Gale saying Katniss brings me back to the present. Oh, it's supposed to have commas. My neighbor and the boy I love, Gale, saying Katniss brings me back to the present. I blink several times and say back, "What is it, you volunteer glory hole?" Jesus Christ! Wow!
Who's the mean animals?
Holy shit!
An autobiography of a famous person. I'm sure someone...
They could.
Oh! Someone did that, like, with just... I think Mario's entry in the Mario Wiki.
Oh.
It's a really good one, too.
Oh, yeah, I will do that one after I finish this.
You remember it?
Yeah. Okay, there's 6 chapters. I gotta get through this. Here in the city, saying things like